Hello there. So we have Charlie with us today. Hi, Charlie.
Hello.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Charlie's experience on the program. So Charlie has very recently completed the 2-hour tutor program. And Charlie is a former secondary English teacher. So I'm going to ask Charlie, first of all, to set the scene. Can you tell us a little bit, Charlie, about your background as an English teacher? What was going on for you? What was the issue you were facing? What kind of led you from there to looking for solutions and joining ultimately the 2-hour tutor program?
So I actually had a secondary school English teacher for 15 years and head of English in an outstanding school for 12 years. For 10, sorry, I was at the school for 12 years. So quite a high pressured kind of role that I had. My main job was to maintain those outstanding results every year, which I did. What led me to looking for the program, I was on my third maternity leave in sort of 5 years. Every time I returned to work, I realized it was becoming more difficult to do the job. And it was never the job that was sacrificed. It was my life that was sacrificed. I maintained everything I wanted to at school, but it wasn't leaving me with the life that I wanted. So I attempted flexible working request at work. That was denied, which I kind of expected. So I had to look for something else. So that alternative, I needed it to be flexible. I still wanted to be in teaching, but I didn't want to work in a school. So that's what kind of led me to considering the program. Really, was there another bit of the question that I've missed?
No. So it was really, you've told us a little bit about you're an English teacher, you've got 3 children. That's a lot.
Yep.
English is, being a core subject and then being the lead of that in a secondary school with massively high expectations must have been a tough gig on its own, never mind raising a family of 3 young children. So you hit a bit of a crunch point where you're like, there's something has to give, something has to change. And what was your experience of tutoring at that point? Had you tutored much child before?
I had tutored in the past, more for like friends, family friends. I was never really willing to, and the hour was never really worth the pay for me. I needed that hour to get schoolwork done, even before I had children. Like that, I may have tutored a couple of times a week, but I kind of resented it, really, if I was honest, because I would rather have marked my year 11 like books, or 5 of them in an hour, if that. So right? Really in an hour, realistically, marking English exercise books in an hour, 4 maximum. 4. Tutoring, dabbled a bit in the past, but I think it's just realistically there wasn't even much time for me to offer tutoring with my role, really.
Completely understand. I've been there, worn that t-shirt, and like had to clean always make sure my toilet was clean back in the day when it was always in your house, or and make sure that the walkway was clear from the door to the table where we were doing it, all of that stuff. It's like, it's more than what you think, isn't it? For very, what little in return, really. So the 2-hour tutor, the premise of that, then did you see that as the solution to this? Like, what was it about that made you, go for it?
I think when I considered tutoring before, I suppose naively, I kind of added the hours up, and I was like, I can't replace my salary. I wasn't in a position to just give up my salary. Like, in terms of being head of English in a London school, I had whole school responsibilities. I had a decent salary, so I wasn't in a position to forfeit that. So when I saw the 2-hour tutor program and I kind of did the maths around it, I kind of thought, well, this could work. I could replace my salary in obviously far less time than what I'm working at school. So yes, but for me, the salary in my job, and I don't know if a lot of teachers feel like this, I didn't have an issue really with the salary, but what you have to do to get that salary, like hours, like a whole day at school, every evening, weekends, putting the children to bed, coming down, marking all night, waking up, rushing to school, and still never being done, like never ever being done. So when I saw that how the 2 hours could equate to an income that could match my salary, it could more than match my salary, that was when I kind of thought, I need to give this a bit more time to see if it actually could work.
Absolutely. And like everyone who invests in a program or decides to take a diversion away from being a teacher or whatever that may be in life. It's a big change. It's a big sort of, you know, leap of faith, isn't it? You had some hesitations, I'm sure, Charley. And maybe was it around the investment? Were you concerned about, like, I think, to make this back, and how long is it going to take me to make this back if I ever do? You know, were these thoughts real for you?
Definitely. I mean, I think, definitely the financial one. I was on maternity leave, so I'd already had got to, I think when I'd kind of got to the stage where it started to kind of, the pay was getting to that stage where on maternity leave it's getting to the crunch point, it's not that great. So definitely I kind of thought, if I'm going to invest financially, if someone had said to me, this is the cost and it will work, I wouldn't have thought about it. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that what the investment entailed. Like, am I going to pay this money, and am I still going to be going back to school in September? So those were my concerns really. Is it going to be worth the investment, or will it actually work? Is it possible?
I don't think there's anyone who's ever joined this program who's thought, is this going to pay off? Am I going to get that money back? You know, what if? And I think that's completely normal human thing to think. And also when we've only, especially if we're, you know, receiving a salary, no matter how bad that situation might feel, you know that salary is coming in, right? And it's just that leap of faith that can be massive and really difficult for teachers to take, for anyone, you know, in a paid job. So, you know, really, I think what everyone wants to know is, has this paid off for you? Has the investment been worth it? Now, you know, you're sort of 6 months down the line. Did you make that investment back? And how long did it take you?
So I had my first client during the program. So I don't think I was halfway through. I hadn't even got to the stage of creating my program when I had completely in its entirety when I had my first client. So I could see pretty early on that people were going to buy this, because you don't know that at the beginning. You're putting it all together in isolation, and you don't know if it's going to compute with everyone else. Are they going to want it? So I think I realized that quite quickly. But equally, like, one isn't enough. Like, that's not going to replace my salary. So I still had those concerns, like, will there be more, or is that just a few? And then I think, and then a few months in, I think this month I'm just about matching my salary. Next month I'll be exceeding it. So I've got enough clients now, enough students in my groups to do that. So, and that's in about 6 months, with the summer holidays in the middle as well. So within a few months. So a lot quicker than I thought.
And where did you think you'd be here in September? If you go back a few months, you were perhaps a little bit afraid. I've got one client. Are there any more coming? And you still had a lot of the program to complete, and September was around the corner. Were you fears?
I know. I didn't know. I didn't even know that I'd be handing my notice in. I thought I may have to go back to school, and then I think when I realised that actually this could work, and combined with sort of trying to go for kind of flexible working at school, that not really being an option for me, I kind of took a bit of a leap of faith, and then kind of thought over the summer, like, September might be me working supply. Like, I had accepted that whilst I love teaching, I had been a head of department of my own department in the same school I've been in my school for 12 years. I don't really want to go to a school I've never been before and fight fires that's not why I want to be a teacher. So I thought, I'm going to have to just swallow that, go into these schools and just deal with it, and do supply, and my program will build over a long period of time. But we're in September, and there's no don't need to do supply. I don't think I will have to do supply. I'm just doing it how I want to do it, and it is working. Obviously, it still needs to. I still want it to grow and those kind of things, but it's at the point of, I had a safety point, and then I had like a point of matching my salary, and then I had a point of exceeding it, and I'm already tipping to that end, which I didn't expect to be in September.
Amazing. So here you are 6 months later, replacing your salary with a view of, like, it's only going to go up from here. You had one client halfway through the program, or a couple of months, was it a month or so into the program, which would have been, I suppose, half of your investment back, more or less. So I guess the answer to that now, was it worth the investment? I'm guessing it's yes.
100%. I just wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I hadn't done it, hadn't done the course, in simple terms. So yeah, either if I hadn't made that investment, I would still be at school. I'd be rushing to school in the morning, racing home, missing things that my children are doing, and feeling, to be honest, feeling like not the parent I want to be. And in school, I was the head of department I wanted to be, but it never finished. I never got to that stage where I could put the schoolwork down and then just enjoy my life. It never got to that stage. So yeah, definitely worth the investment.
Awesome. And I know you're now going to do your own kids' school runs, which is great, and I want to honor that time. It's so precious these years. My kids are now nearly 11, 8 and 5, and gosh, it's just rushing by. So yeah, just being able to be there for your kids, be the mum that picks them up and drops them off is amazing. So I'm not going to keep you a minute longer, well, maybe 30 seconds longer, Charley, if that's all right. Yeah. So I just wanted to pick up on the point that you've made about, obviously the 2-hour tutor program gives you a process to follow. It gives you all this stuff to implement. We feed back, we support you, we get you to where you want to be, as long as you engage with the whole process. But you mentioned how much the mindset part of that was important. Could you just sort of say any nuggets about that before you rush off to pick your kids up?
Yeah, I think at the beginning I was very keen to fast forward. I wanted to get to the point, like, tell me how to do it, like, what do I need to do? But I'm also like a stickler. I am like a follow the rules. So if someone says to me, you might want to read this book or you might want to do that, I'm going to do it. So I read the Joe Dispenza book, and I followed the process, how it was laid out for me. And then looking back now, I had to do that, because if my mindset hadn't have changed, not only would I have not been as kind of open to the rest of the program, because if my money mindset wasn't there, or I can't do this, I'm gonna fail, but I wouldn't have left work either. So that shift, that kind of changing how I think about things, that gave me the confidence to leave, as well as the program kind of informed me of you do have a process to follow, and this can help you to build your program. But 100%, I needed to have that kind of dual approach for me to get to the stage where I could leave my job and have something to replace it.
Absolutely, that self-belief. You believe you can or believe you can't, either is going to be true, and and the mindset has to support the action. So Charley, if someone's watching this and they're sitting on the fence about joining the program, what would you say to them, just as your last few words?
I would say just do it. Like, don't think any more about it in the first moment. Do it, and kind of make that agreement with yourself that you're going to follow it. So I think if you're not open to, I was not in a rush, but I think I was quite desperate. I did not want to go back to school. So I was kind of working. I had a 3-month-old baby. He'd go to sleep, I'd come, and I'd kind of crack on and do a part of the program, because I was determined to not be in that situation in September again. So I'd say don't kind of delay the reservations that you might have. Accept, or I suppose follow. It's hard, isn't it? Because I'm on the other side of it. But from my point of view, I watch all these videos of other people talking, and that's what made me think, yes, there's teachers there that are saying it's worked for them. So I think commit to it in the first point by kind of signing up, and then kind of commit to the process. And that's all that basically is all that you need to do. It's not, I kept saying, will it work? What if it doesn't work? But it will work if you follow it and do it how you're supposed to. It will work. It's the mindset that might stop you from working. It's not the plan.
And the mindset bit is key to everything.
Yeah,
that's integrated, as you said, into the program. Charley, I don't want to keep you any longer. I don't want you to keep you away from your kids, but thank you so very much. I'm sure that this will have been so useful to everyone watching it. And so Charley, would you like just to tell us the name of your business so people can look you up? And then I will be posting more links to Charley's business soon. So
yeah, thank you. It's called Crystal Clear English Tuition, and it's focused on secondary school age tuition, group tuition, in English. That's it, really.
Thank you so much, Charley. I'm going to say goodbye because I don't want you to be late for your kids. And thank you so much for being here, and good luck with everything. You deserve every success. You've been awesome to work with. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for everything as well.
You're super welcome. Okay, bye.
See you later. Bye.